Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Rental Robert here with the Hustle Nation. I hope you're having a great day and gonna be getting your hustle on. A couple years ago, me and a group from church, we rode our Harleys here from Pensacola all the way to Pikes Peak in Colorado, and had a great time the whole way there. Stopped and saw a lot of things, and personally, I like to ride fast and I don't smoke, so when I stop, it's like gas and go, unless I got to use a restroom and everything like that. So a lot of times people don't like traveling with me because I travel pretty fast. I'm not going in the truck stop doing all this comparison shopping and taking 20 minutes and, got to get something to eat. I'm like, I'm going. You know what I'm saying? So, regardless, we get to the gate there at Pikes Peak, and we're waiting on a couple of other people that were going to join us, and a guy comes up on a Harley, not part of our group. He goes through the gate, turns back around, comes to us and says, "Hey, they're not letting you go all the way to the top. I'm not gonna go." Man, you want to talk about disappointed. I've done been all these miles and everything, and I'm not going to be able to ride my motorcycle to the top. This is not a good thing, And so we thought about it and everything. The rest of the people showed up. And, that would have been a great way to lose the whole spirit of the trip right then and there. However, went ahead and said, I didn't come all this way not to look at the view. I'm going to go to the top. So we wait about another 10 minutes. Everybody shows up. They're accounted for and everything like that. And so we ended up going. And now I've ridden on some pretty wild roads, but nothing like going up the side of Pikes Peak. You want to talk about 180-degree switchbacks, that's it. And there is no guardrail, okay? And when you get on the edge of that mountain and you're looking over like that, yeah, it's down a couple 100 feet. So you pretty much know that, if you go off the side, there's probably not a real good chance of you surviving that one, okay? So kind of reminds me like when I was at the Dragon in North Carolina. Right there at the start of it, there's a restaurant with a hotel, and then it's got the Tree of Shame with all the fenders and body pieces off of motorcycles hanging out of the tree and everything like that. And man, I seen this good looking gal walking around and everything like that. She didn't appear like she was with anybody, and I just kept noticing her, And I turn around and I see her, and she's leaving on her trike, and she's going up the tail of the Dragon. And I'll never forget this, because about 5 minutes later, a group of us leave, and we go up the tail of the Dragon. We get around a corner, and I see about 6 cop cars lined up, and we knew something was wrong. Immediately pulled over, and I got off to offer a hand, and I looked over the side of the mountain, and there's that lady's trike about 100 yards down, and she was about 20 yards off of the road, and 2 people were holding her, and man, she just had this blank stare, and she still looked like she was alive, but I had heard that she passed. And right where that was at was where these people would take your picture, and you could go on the internet and buy your picture from them. And unfortunately, it showed like 8 shots of her looking at the camera and not looking at the road and going off the side of the mountain. And that was exactly what happened, is she wasn't concentrating on what was right in front of her. So anyway, tragedy, yes. Terrible, yes. And so we end up going, and we take off. We go up the side of the mountain and everything. Well, the guy that went through the gate and came back around, he said that you're going to go up to the parking lot at about 16 miles and have to stop, and they'll take you with a shuttle all the way up. So we said, okay. So we're going, And we get to the parking lot and they said, hey, you're on motorcycles? No worry, go ahead to the top. You know, and so we got up there, and I'll tell you the thing about it was I started out without any gloves, spent half that trip with my hand around the motor swapping them and everything because it was so cold. You know, it was like 60 degrees at the front gate. By the time we got up there, it was below freezing. The view was unbelievable. It was, you just can't put it into words. It was, the whole trip was so worth it just for that right there. The whole thing about this was, if I had listened to what that other person said and basically said, you know what, I'm not going because I can't go all the way to the top. Kind of sounds like a little kid. Well, I'm not getting my way. I'm not going to do it, you know. But I went ahead and said, hey, you know what, regardless, this might not happen exactly the way I want it to or think it should, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. And I got the reward from that. How often in life does something like that happen with us, in the sense that, well, it's not going to happen exactly the way we think it should, but we go ahead and do it and we get the reward anyway. It's a lot like being in business or creating a side hustle. It's not always going to be like that. And, you know, there's a lot of books out there that can tell you, you know, how to help you start a side hustle. But there's not a book out there that can tell you step by step, if you do exactly this, you're going to get exactly that. Because guess what? Every one of us is different in the way that we do things. My whole thing for you is, just because it doesn't look like it should in your eyes, don't stop. Follow your dream, go after what you want. It's Rental Robert with the Hustle Nation. Keep hustling, keep grinding. Have a wonderful day.